last point before I let y'all out of here, and I get back to the comments. Listen, the backup power forward position. Backup power forward position. But there ain't no power shortage. What do y'all think? What do y'all think we're gonna do with Jericho Sims? What do y'all think we're gonna do with Jericho Sims? And I already hear a couple of y'all like, same thing we did with him last season. Yo, you think he gonna get minutes? Yo, you already know Tom Thibodeau ain't playing him. He played him sparingly. You see what he did where he completely went away from him for long stretches of the season, and he took him out, or he didn't even put him in. He went to a smaller style of player, whatever have you. Tom Thibodeau has been here now for what, 3-4 years? Tom Thibodeau has been in this league as a head coach, for the Minnesota Timberwolves and for Chicago. We already seen it with the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau believes that you have to earn your stripes. Unless you're a complete standout as a rookie. He believes that the veterans are gonna, especially if it's no stark difference in terms of performance, and you almost got to be perfect as a young player, whether you're in your first or second year. You almost got to be perfect. By the time you get to year 3, if you're lucky enough to get to the 3rd year with Tom Thibodeau, you are now his veteran. So this is why I laugh at people where it's just like, we got to get a backup power forward. We're short at the backup power forward. He's shown you when playing Hartenstein and Mitch together, or Jericho with Hartenstein, or Jericho with Mitch. He's shown you that is a clear mismatch for a lot of teams. That's going to be his plan. Jericho will see if they go without making a move. You can guarantee none of those people they recently signed are going to be power forward. You think he's going to trust them? You think he's going to give them time over Jericho? Listen, the time that Jericho has been here, it's about developing trust with Tom Thibodeau. Jericho has yet another summer. Now, I know he complained about not being able to show what he can do offensively, and Mitch did the same thing. And fans, y'all be bugging, y'all be killing me talking about we need scoring from the 5. Listen, recently on the Gilbert Arenas podcast, I got to be paying attention because you get some pieces of knowledge from there. They were interviewing Brennan Haywood. Brennan Haywood was the starting center on the championship team for the Dallas Mavericks. And he said when he came to the team, he did have an ability to score the ball. He showed that, I believe he was in Washington previously, all those years, showed the ability to score. And when he came to the Dallas Mavericks, his role was to block, shot, and rebound. That was it. And he said there was one time in the game when he got traded to Dallas, and during that championship run, he said he looked off Dirk Nowitzki and he put up a hook shot and he made it. And he said when he got to the sidelines, Rick Carlisle came up to him and told him, he said, "Don't you ever look off Dirk Nowitzki." He said, if you have the basketball and you rebound the basketball, unless it's directly putting it back up, you pass the ball to him. He said, you get your points off of rebounds in the paint. Don't be putting up that broken jump shot. He said he was so taken aback that he was just like, my jump shot ain't broken. He was just like, but basically he told him, you're here to play this role. So I'm laughing because this is how Knicks fans can be spoiled. And this is how much knowledge of the game you can expect from a Knicks fan who talks about, I want Mitch to go more into his bag. I need Mitch to do this, that, and the third. Bro, every player has been given what their role on the team is. If you are not satisfied with your role, then we need to give you the OP Toppin plane ticket, and we got to put you in a situation where your role is different. But for this team, your role is to block shots, rebound, run the floor, get the lob when you can, and be a beast on the offensive boards. That's your role. And to play great defense, that's your role. You're the anchor of the defense. We got people who are doing a job. We paid you to do this role. You can work on your game all you want. Don't switch up. When the moment you trade it, then you could break that bag out, and then you could make the New York Knicks regret every moment they didn't believe that you had the offensive bag that you're saying that you did. But in the meantime, you have a role. A lot of the times, it's so funny. I remember when LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers would come in, and it was shortly after 2010. And he sat next to Spike Lee one day, and they were watching the game, and I think he was injured. And he's like, look at them. He said, nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Everybody is touching the ball. Everybody's taking shots. And I do think that was during the D'Antoni years. Because Al Harrington recently was interviewed, and he said him and Larry Hughes, when they were on the Knicks, they actually came up to D'Antoni and said, are we ever going to practice defense? And he said D'Antoni looked offended. And it was just like, what we're doing is a system and it works, this, that, and third. And he was just like, yo, bro, but he said there was no time they practiced defense. And I remember LeBron came there one day and he's watching the game from the sidelines, and he says, look, this is why they're not winning. Nobody knows their role. This is why every time LeBron goes to a team, Chris Bosh is turned to a jump shooter. Because we need you to be that for us to get to where we need to go. That's why he went to Miami, and Wade had to acquiesce and say, listen, bruh, this, you score, I score, you score, I score, that's not going to work. You were the big dog. I'll play whatever role I need to play to support. Teams that win and they compete for championships have roles that are assigned to them. You got to be the best at the role that you're given. Master that before you ask for anything else. Master making your free throws before you ask to get shots in an offense. Master that. Master playing defense before you ask to get time in the playoffs, Evan Fournier. Dominate your matchup in practice with Julius Randle before you talk about you not getting minutes. Obi Toppin. Obi the ops right now. And when Obi did get minutes, there was rarely a time that I saw anything from Obi that was that much better than Julius. Come on, man. Sometimes it's almost weird how I hear Knicks fans talk about Obi. And sometimes it's almost weird. It's borderline weird. It's borderline weird.
Hey, yo.
Because I'm like, yo, listen, man, he should have, you take the spots if you better than the veterans. Julius was just like, yo, I don't know what you've been told. I'm the Black Mamba in New York. So I think for the power forward, the backup power forward, I think we have that player on our team already. I think that challenge has been given to Jericho Sims. He's obviously been in the lab. He's been chilling. I think that he has some things he's been given to work on this offseason. And I fully expect for him to get a lot of minutes at the power forward spot. So we'll see. His development, I think, is there. His familiarity with the team and the schemes is something that Thibodeau is going to rely on. Another year where you have a team that's cohesive. They know each other's game. They're familiar with a point guard for the second year. They're going into a season for the second year with a point guard now. A legitimate all-star point guard. And once again, I think just knowing your role and knowing where you're supposed to be in the schemes is going to be what's favored in terms of who backs up the power forward. Or you just may get players that have, 48 minute games per game. Lord knows. I hope that don't happen.
This bitch
better not do that.